Change, especially change that requires legislative solutions, will not occur easily given our vast, inherently disharmonious, and increasingly polarized country. Change will only occur if we make the highest, best, and most peaceful use of the First Amendment. The law has been fundamental to change in our country, especially the First Amendment. Yet there is recent disquieting evidence on college campuses of intolerance of speech at odds with the progressive views members of your generation and I share. A Brookings Institution survey examining college students' views of the First Amendment found, and here I'm quoting Brookings, freedom of expression is deeply imperiled on U.S. campuses, end quote. For example, Brookings found a significant number of college students believe that hate speech is not protected by the First Amendment. 51% believe that shouting down a controversial speaker so she or he cannot be heard was acceptable. And 63% of those were Democrats and 38% were Republicans. But bear in mind, the most controversial speakers on campuses today are from the right. Will the generation that is using protest so precociously for issues they favor, like gun safety, also exercise the tolerance that allows those who favor the opposite to at least be heard? According to the Brookings survey, this is not a rhetorical question. In fact, history shows that our society must periodically reteach and relearn the reasons the framers added the Bill of Rights as a vital addendum to the nation's founding document. Inevitably, we get the challenge to apply the Bill of Rights to conditions the framers could not have imagined. There is some indication that this generation could use the benefit of leadership not from my generation, but from their own generation of young lawyers whose education equips them to explain in terms their generation can understand that the First Amendment right to speak must be reciprocal. I do not mean reteaching the meaning of the First Amendment by bringing cases. Few lawyers have the opportunity. I'm on the aviation subcommittee. Few lawyers have the opportunity I had as a young lawyer, not long out of law school and the civil rights movement, to argue a case in the United States Supreme Court representing an unabashedly racist organization barred by a prior restraint order from appearing again after engaging in racist and anti-Semitic remarks at a rally. Or another, I argued in the New York courts when the liberal mayor of New York, John Lindsay, denied the notorious governor, George Wallace, a permit to speak at Shea Stadium, a public facility. These were not difficult cases in light of controlling precedent. My direct clients were a minority in our society, proselytizing racists and anti-Semites with whom I had nothing in common. Yet it was clear that the ultimate client was the First Amendment. Those who have brought change to our country did not win it by shutting down the other side. They won change the hard and only way that ensures that it will be lasting. They persisted against their adversaries until they persuaded the country that they should prevail. To be sure, sometimes the change makers had to pursue change using lawyers like you will become, and judges like many of Georgetown's many alumni. Even so, ultimately, change makers acting with vital help from the law must persuade the Democratic majority to accept change even when they have won it in court. Who is in the best position to help not only young people, but also the American people relearn the purposes and uses of the First Amendment for these times and in our polarized society? I believe I am speaking to them now. The 2018 Georgetown Law graduates who are going on to become leaders of their communities. The First Amendment as a tool to bring change is far easier to understand than appreciating the benefits when all sides are heard. That is where young lawyers can come in, trusted members of their own generation, speaking in their own terms, speaking in their own language, offering reasons why hearing the other side of arguments is critical to our society. After 3 years of law school, the class of 2018 knows that lawyers sharpen their own cases best when they have heard the other side. And we all know that allowing the other side to speak without interruption earns respect from the public, the actual party. We want to accept the change we are after. The often quoted line from Shakespeare, "Let's kill all the lawyers," is only noting the reality that lawyers not only survive, they lead. They lead wherever leadership is needed in the country and in the communities. The Georgetown Law degree the class of 2018 earns today is the key that will unlock many doors, including the door to personal success. But this same key also allows you to spread the full value of your degree to a society that is on a perpetual search for leadership to encourage us to embrace our best instincts and to honor our proven principles. Today, I say more than congratulations to the Georgetown Law class of 2018. I also say, please lead us. Thank you.